Hello. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate several new tools that Rabid Models has developed, which will help in the job of hinging the control surfaces on small balsa models, specifically CA hinges. These tools are developed in concert with fun-scale models, which Rabid Models is already working with to produce several other parts like spinners and wheels and landing gear parts and stuff like that. But I'm going to show you these new tools and how they will help in this job that's kind of frustrating sometimes. So what I'm going to do first is show you the old way that we used to do it. So I can show you how these tools will improve your life a little bit. By the way, the tools come in different sizes. This one we're going to show in the video is for 3/32 balsa. But I do have larger ones for thicker balsa. This one's 1/8, and I think this is 3/8, and this one's 1/4. No, 3/16 and 1/4. But anyway, it comes in a collection of different sizes. Anyway, I'm going to show you how this works in just a minute, so stay tuned. Now I have here a piece of 3/16 balsa, and what I'm going to do is try to install some hinges without any help, the way we used to do it, just with an X-Acto knife. And what I need to do is mark the center line of this piece. So I'm going to use a ruler and try to, let me put the knife down. I'm going to use a ruler and a pen, and this is kind of tricky because I have this piece up on the edge here. It's going to take me a second to line it up and hold it. Okay, and then I'm going to use a pen to make a line here. Roughly in the center, and you can see it's a little bit off, but that's what I'm dealing with here. So let's say we want to put CA hinges in here. That's what we're talking about today, and I want to put them here, here, and here. On a regular model you'd space them out further, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So here are the hinges that I'm going to be using. They were cut from it's called a product called Tyvek, but it's sort of like a reinforced paper. Anyway, I'm sure you're familiar with these. They're available from several manufacturers, including Great Plains, and these are from Sonictronics. I usually cut these in half. Anyway, what I want to do is put a slot in here, and what I got to do is use my knife and very carefully press it in here on the center line or close to it. I'm going to make an adjustment since it's a little bit off, and press the knife blade in. This is a brand new X-Acto knife. Okay, there's one. There's two. I never like this because the blade is very close to your fingers, but this is how we have to do it. Now this knife, it went through, so I have to try to adjust this a little bit. It went through the side because I wasn't perfectly straight. And I didn't do it just for the video, it just actually happened just now. So I'm going back the other direction with the knife now to widen the gap a little bit. Okay. Here's the third one. You can see I'm going a little bit on each side. Okay. Here's the hinge. One goes in there, another one goes in here. You get the idea. After it's hinged, the other piece of wood is going to go up against it, and you'll want it to go like this, of course, for operation, and so the edges have to be beveled. The purpose of this line is so that you can bevel the edges to the center line. And what we usually use is a big old sander like this. So I'm going to run the sander up and down here a little bit. Okay, turn it over and do the other side. Check the center. Now, you can see there's a bevel. one side. This side is a little bit more than that side, so I have to go back and adjust it a little bit until you get the bevel that you want. This is a 45-degree bevel. So that's how we used to do it. Now I'm going to show you a better way using these new tools that we developed. I have this product, which is our new Centerline marker and hinge maker. It's been designed so that the wood, it has different thicknesses, so the wood fits in here perfectly. It guides the knife, and it has a spot for the pen. Here's a piece of wood. I'm going to put it on, it just drops in like that. I'm going to take my pen, and by the way, this pen hole you can use a regular ballpoint or you can use a fine tip marker. I'm going to try the fine tip marker this time. Like that. It's not a super fine tip, just a regular fine tip. Put it in the hole. You just go like that. And you have a nice center line right in the middle. So that's one thing this tool does. Let me first mark where I want my hinges to go. We'll put one here, and one here. Okay. Now, you put this tool over the wood again, and it has a window, so you can see the mark you made. What that does is it lines up the knife blade right where you want the hinge to be, and you put the knife blade into the slot and press down. You can see my fingers are protected. Well, I can put it right next to it, but if you hold it like that, you just press the knife in, move it to the next mark. There's my mark. Put the knife in, move it to the next mark. Now, if you want a wider hinge slot, you can move this around a little bit. But I just started the holes, so now I can finish them like this because I have a little slot to guide me. Like that. And the slot is right in the middle of the wood because that tool holds the knife blade right where it needs to be. Okay, there's a third one. Like that. The hinges will go in like that. I know it's hard to see in the video, but they're right in the center of the wood. Now, what about that bevel? Well, the other tool that we have are these nifty little shapers. I've got them in different types. Got 150 grit sandpaper on them. I'm going to pick the 45-degree one and show it to you. So what this is, obviously, is a perfect 90-degree angle, 245s. You put it up against the wood here and make sure it's centered and draw it a couple times like this. Presto, perfect bevel. Let me do the edge here so you can see the edge. .45 degrees on each side, right in the center. You can see the line that I made is, it's still there, but it's partially sanded off because it went right to the center. Perfect result almost instantly with this tool. So we're going to be selling a set of these tools which have a 60-degree, or I'm sorry, two 30-degree angles and two 45s, and rounded ones. This one is a half circle, and this one is a smaller half circle for leading edges. And you can see the sandpaper is around the edges, which are flat, so these sharp edges can be really handy for sanding into other small areas. But they're designed for the purpose I just showed you. So there you go. That's our new hinge centering tool and hinge slot tool and our new sanders. But wait, there's more. There's something else here that I want to show you. Here's the first one that I hinged. To install these CA hinges, you need to use some CA glue, and I'm going to show you something that Rabid Models makes that makes that job easier too. First, I have to hinge the other side of this wood. I'm going to use the tool again. I already made my marks that line up with those marks. So I put the tool on here. Let's see, I'll turn it around this way so I can see the window. There's my first mark. Put the knife blade in. I like this because it protects your fingers. Okay, some balsas are harder than others. This is a medium balsa. Medium hardness, I mean. Okay, do that one. Go across, do this one. Okay, 3 slots. Not sure if you can see it, but they're there. I'll get a piece of hinge and make sure that it goes in. Sometimes, you know, you have to widen the hole a little bit to make sure it fits properly. That one's in. This one's in. And I'm going to bevel that edge with this beveling tool. Boom. I didn't do the center mark, I just decided to sand it. There it is. Okay. Now, normally you'd want to do a test fit. Make sure these surfaces line up when you're model making. That's a normal part of doing this. A little tricky to line all these hinges up into the slots. There it goes. Okay. Open it up just a little bit. Now what you need to do is put CA in here. Now a regular CA bottle will look like that. It's kind of hard to get the glue to go where you want. So I have these disposable tips that I've been selling for years. This is the hinge making is, or hinge setting is perfect for these tips. What it does is it gives you the control you need to put just a little bit of glue in like that at a pinpoint. So what I do is I glue the hinges in one side first. Kind of stabilizes the whole thing. Get this one over here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little CA right there on the hinge. Both sides. The CA will wick into the hinge, but you can wiggle around a little bit. Then get your other piece, get it lined up. And this is just how I do it. Everybody has their own techniques, I guess. But I don't push it in yet. I put the glue on the exposed part of the hinge just a little bit. That's what's really cool about this tip. You can control the flow perfectly. Alright, now the glue's on there. I'm going to push it in the rest of the way and flex it to get my gap the way I want it. There it is. So, it's beveled, it's together, and it only takes a few moments to do this with these tools. I hope you enjoyed watching. Hope this helps with model building. I know it does with mine.